Hey everyone. So occasionally I will run into someone who I get along with fairly well, and things will just flow fairly naturally. And I would say it's partially due to maybe my social skills and everything else getting better over time, which is something I've devoted a lot of my time to working on. My social skills, conversational skills, and so forth. I still suck at it, um, but I'm not horrible at it. Now, thinking back though, I was pretty much wondering, did I do something wrong in my past, or did the people I didn't click with, were they just people that I naturally wouldn't have clicked with anyways? And as I looked at people I met in the past, I think it was the latter. You know, especially if you live in a small community, which I don't think I did, um, to a certain extent, kinda, but not really. Uh, you can assume that maybe it's you, or maybe you're the problem completely. However, in this situation, I do think that if you meet enough people, sometimes you will realize that it's not you, and you can be completely how you are now with close to no changes, and you will find people that get along with you very, very well and absolutely love you, and you can just talk to and have a great time with, and so on. And there's rarely much you have to do in addition to that. So I think this exemplifies the fact that you don't always have to worry or dissect things. Sometimes things aren't working because you guys are just not compatible. Either there's not much in common, or that other person has decided they don't want to associate with you on a deeper level, or for whatever reason you don't get along. In fact, it happens all the time with every ethnicity, every age range, and so forth. I do think that social skills and all this stuff can help to a certain extent, but even looking back at situations where one could argue maybe I could have possibly done better because I was socially awkward and bad at that time, and I look back at some of these situations and I'm just thinking, well, in all honesty, even if I could go travel back in time and have all the social skill in the world, quite frankly, they would not have been my best friends or anything close to that. And a lot of different factors can be the cause of this. And so sometimes you have to let it go. So, it could be a bunch of things. You don't have any topics of interest in common. Your past experiences in life and the lifestyle you live is completely different from how they live, and they can't relate to you and you can't relate to them. Or any attempt at small talk and conversation just goes completely dry, and there's really not much to be said, and everything you talk about or make fun of, or every joke you crack, they don't like, and it could just be a complete separation in sense of humor. you know, it could be a bunch of things. Long story short, perhaps it's just one of those situations where it's not going to work. Let me give you a clear example. Um, there are some people who have just not experienced much in their life, and they've lived very simple life, and maybe they have a more naive perspective on the world, and they've just had a very simple life, grew up, and so forth, and their head is filled with all sorts of pop culture, and all they talk about is social media, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and their heads just filled with very uh, simplistic things, and there's nothing wrong with that. However, if you pair that person with another man or another girl who is completely different, and she's constantly just learning about the world and reading up on topics and is very engrossed in, say, political affairs, and knows all the little tiny details about how the government works and so forth. And because of her knowledge in the government, it knows a lot about the cruelties and pains and uh, all the complicated, intricate stuff regarding third world countries and developing countries and the poverty and economics and infrastructure that causes this stuff. So you can get the point. Like these people, it's a very tough match. Can it be done? Possibly, if their personalities work together, or they can find like some common fun ground to talk about. But I feel like it's just one of those things where in the long run, unless they find like, some plane of uh, ability to just chat and have a great time with each other, or some way of relating or having fun or conversing with each other. Um, Maybe it's something stupid like they just have the same sense of humor, and they love cracking jokes, and they can relate at least on some level. Maybe like day-to-day lifestyle, going to Starbucks every day. It can still work, but that's just an example to give you how not everyone is supposed to click, and it's okay. Quite frankly, I think the rate that people just don't click and become good friends with each other, or deep friends, that's very, very high. Best friends are hard to come by. And so I think that's what I want to say. So if you're looking for a specific type of person with specific interests, or a certain type of intelligence or perspectives in life or experiences, it may be much better, much more efficient and quicker if you can find a concentrated area with them, whether it's a conference or a community or a mastermind group or whatever else, because that's probably better than just shooting it blind in a more public area, like a bar, for instance. So, food for thought of the day. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments below. Again, what I'm saying is just theory, subject to change based off my experiences in the future. And I would like to know your opinions on this. In your own life, can you think of anything that can maybe contradict this? I would love to see that. And maybe it'll change my theory on things. Have you met people who click even though they seem to have nothing in common, or they have no interest in common and their personalities are opposite? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And the lesson of the day, in my opinion, from this video is just realize that sometimes you don't have to beat yourself up too much. Sometimes it's just the fact that you're not meeting a lot of new people, and in the people you have met, things just aren't clicking. You don't want to take that too far though, because you can get too arrogant or extremist and think that you're just, you know, this amazing thing, when you could definitely work on a lot of things, which is why it's off-putting to a lot of people. Maybe you're not getting a lot of dates for some very blatant stuff you can fix. Horrible hygiene and grooming, not brushing your teeth, uh, or you're not making friends because of some things that would probably be decent to fix. Probably one possibility is the fact that you piss off 9 out of 10 people you meet because of how rude or arrogant you are. Having said that, though, um, even if you even if you're really rude, it hits on another point that makes people attractive, which is this idea of being polarizing. This idea that the people who do like you, even though 9 out of 10 might hate you, they will really, really like you because of that distinct personality or the uniqueness or just how you are as a person and how um, you know extreme you can be. So I think possibly the best way of merging the two is just maybe be more nicer, but still be 100% fully assume who you are and show it, and therefore you can be who you are 100% without faking things or hiding how you are, and actually finding people who like you for your weirdness and like to hang out you for that with all the weirdness you have. And then you don't have to hide or be awkward or embarrassed or ashamed of who you are, and you can fully express how you are if that's who you choose to be. And it's great on both levels. They like you, and you are who you are. Anyhow, that's food for thought, and hopefully you got something out of this video. As always, hit the subscribe button if you're new to this channel and you want to see more, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching.